a 3-engine airplane. The geodesic dome. What do these two objects have in common? Both were instrumental in influencing the design of one of the most unusual and exclusive vehicles that was conceived in the 1930s. This is the story of the Stout Scarab, the vehicle that was a minivan, a microbus, and an office, all rolled into one. Hi, this is Jeffrey. Now, back in the 1930s, automotive engineer William Stout had some interesting ideas about the automobile. He wanted something bigger, more flexible, aerodynamic, with an engine at the rear. His creation is often credited as being the world's first minivan and also approaches minibus standards. It's a really fascinating story, so let's get started in learning about the Stout Scarab. A vehicle that could be a minibus or a roving office, looking like something that beamed down from Mars. Yes, it certainly did exist. In the early 1930s, William Bushnell Stout, an engineer and aviation pioneer, began to rethink the automobile entirely. Having worked in aircraft design, most notably for Ford's tri-motor airplane, Stout was fascinated by lightweight structures and aerodynamics. Although Stout loved aviation, he became frustrated by the overall lack of innovation in the industry at that time and turned his attention to other forms of transportation. This would lead to a very different and innovative vehicle designed by Stout, as we shall see. Stout was also president of the Society of Automotive Engineers. He eventually met architect and theorist Buckminster Fuller, an innovator of lightweight space frame structures, at a major New York auto show, and was a supporter of Fuller's aerodynamic Dymaxion car. Stout believed cars should be more like airplanes, streamlined and designed for people rather than for engines. Out of this philosophy, combined with elements of Fuller's, came his bold idea: a family vehicle for the future that would focus on comfort, space, and practicality rather than just speed or luxury. And so, what would this new minivan or minibus vehicle introduced in 1932 be? It was the Stout Scarab. Stout's creation was named after the scarab beetle, a symbol of rebirth and innovation in ancient Egypt. However, it would have a turtle shell art-deco shape. William Bushnell Stout drove the prototype Scarab daily, covering more than 250,000 miles traversing the United States, often sleeping and dining inside the vehicle. It was probably the very first car to have an aluminum space frame unit's construction body with a rear engine mounted over the rear axle. By 1934, Stout had formed the Stout Motor Car Company out of a small factory in Dearborn, Michigan. Sales of the Scarab would be by invitation and in very limited numbers. The second prototype was ready in 1935, with some styling and mechanical changes. The headlamps were set behind a fine vertical bar grille, and at the rear, narrow chrome bars curved from the back window down to the bumper, giving the car its Art Deco appearance. The body was changed to steel to reduce cost. Its four-wheel independent suspension, a rare feature in the 1930s, provided a smoother ride. And of course, the design was unlike anything else on the road. Now, let's take a look at some of the basic specifications of the 1935 Stout Scarab. Number 1, length is 16 feet 4 inches. Number 2, width is approximately 5 feet 5 inches at its widest point. Number 3, height is 6 feet. Number 4, weight is 3,300 pounds. Number 5, passenger capacity is noted as 6, but could probably hold up to 8. Number 6, engine is the 3.6-liter Ford Flathead V8 of 85 to 95 horsepower, paired with a custom-built 3-speed manual transmission. And finally, number 7, top speed is about 80 miles per hour. The Scarab's design was often likened to an alien spaceship. Troy Heminger, an automotive designer in the 1940s, explains its appearance.
While the overall design concept was by Stout, the styling of the Scarab is credited to Dutch-American automotive designer John Tarta, who was inspired by the streamlined moderne, the last phase of the Art Deco movement. Its silhouette was similar to an airplane's fuselage, with a rear end resembling a beetle's tail. The Scarab's shape was complemented by a clean pontoon look for the body shell. No articulated fenders or running boards. Stout envisioned interchangeable interiors, turning the vehicle into an office or a lounge, with swivel seats and a fold-out table. As each Scarab was hand-built, no two were exactly alike.
Although the Scarab stunned audiences and garnered much press coverage, at $5,000, equivalent to $118,000 in 2025, it was simply too expensive. Most Scarabs sold to millionaires such as chewing gum king Philip Wrigley. Only 9 Scarabs were ever built, and up to 5 survive today, including one used by General Eisenhower in North Africa during World War II. In 1946, Stout built one more prototype Scarab, called the Stout Scarab Experimental, and was more conventional in appearance. Still equipped with a rear engine, it featured a wraparound windshield and the world's first fiberglass body. Although the Stout Scarab never entered mass production, its influence rippled through automotive history. Its streamlined bodywork predated the designs of post-war vehicles like the Volkswagen Type 2 Microbus and even the Chrysler Airflow. Some also credit it to being the world's first minivan. Not bad for a minivan or minibus, of which less than 2 handfuls were built. And so there it is, the story of the Stout Scarab, the vehicle that was probably way too ahead of its time to be properly appreciated. The vehicle that was the forerunner of the minivan and the microbus. And it would be really interesting to hear your comments about this unique creation of the 1930s. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this look at the Stout Scarab, and as always, thank you so much for watching, and have a great day. Bye.